Welcome to the Angular Pivot Table tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to filter and sort data in the Syncfusion Angular Pivot Table component. First, I will open an existing Angular application with the Pivot Table component and a list of data retrieved from a pivot data source. If you want to know how to get started with the Angular Pivot Table component, refer to the video linked in the card above. I will run the application using the command ngserve. The pivot table is rendered with the defined data. Now let me show you how to filter data in the pivot table. To enable the filtering option in the UI, I need to enable the grouping bar or field list functionality in the pivot table. Therefore, I enable the Show Grouping Bar property to filter the data. To access this, I import the Grouping Bar service module from the Angular Pivot View package and import it inside the Providers section. See now, the filter icon appears on fields that are bound to rows and columns because only their axis data can be filtered. To demonstrate filtering, I click on the filter icon of the year field. A dialog box appears on the screen with a list of years and a search bar. I want to show only the records from 2017 and 2018. So I will uncheck 2015 and 2016 from the list and click OK. The pivot table displays records for the given 2 years. By default, the filter dialog loads all the items in the table, but you can limit the number of items by setting the max node limit in Member Editor property. To demonstrate, I set the max node limit in Member Editor property to 2. Now the filter dialog opens with the first 2 members in the data source, that is 2015 and 2016. You'll also see a notification here with the remaining members. You can use the search text box for further filtering processes. I have shown you the steps to perform the default member filtering in the UI using the grouping bar option. Now let's proceed to filter programmatically. I define the filter settings property, and inside this, set the name property to products, type to exclude, and items property to road bikes, as I plan to exclude the records of road bikes in the products field. See, the pivot table is rendered with the records of mountain bikes and touring bikes. Apart from this default member type, the Syncfusion Angular Pivot Table also supports 2 other filtering types, label and value filtering. First, let's look into label filtering. To enable it, define the Allow Label Filter property to true within the Data Source Settings property. When I click on the filter icon of the country field, the dialog opens, and within the Label Filtering tab, there is a drop-down with a list of operators. I choose the Contains operator and enter the value united in the text box. When I click OK, the pivot table refreshes and displays only the records that contain united. In the same way, you can perform label filtering for the number and date types by selecting appropriate operators. Now, I will show you how to perform the same in code behind. To demonstrate, I will use the number type field sold. Within the filter settings property, I change the existing filter settings by updating the name property to sold, the type to number, and set the condition to between. To filter the sales value between 90 and 100, I set the value 1 as 90 and value 2 as 100. Then comment out the sold field in the value axis and add it to the row axis. because it is possible to filter only the row and column axis values. You can now see the pivot table rendered with the sales values ranging between 90 and 100. Next, I will move on to the next type, value filtering. This type is used to filter aggregated values in the values axis. To enable this filtering, I set the Allow Value Filter property to True. When you click the filter icon of the Year field, the filter dialog opens, and within the Value tab, I am going to filter the years whose sales amount is equal to 311,990. Looking here, the pivot table shows records with the specified sales amount. This filtering action can also be performed programmatically. Now moving on to the sorting topic. To enable the default sorting in the pivot table, enable the grouping bar or field list functionality. In this example, the grouping bar has already been enabled. So let me proceed to sort in the UI directly. You can see the sort icons on fields bound to rows and columns. Now I am going to sort the country field in descending order. This is the default string-based member sorting. Now let's proceed to sort programmatically. To enable sorting, I set the Enable Sorting property to True. Next, I define the Sort Settings property. And inside this, set the Name property to Year, and Order property to Descending, as I plan to show the Year field in descending order. See, the Year field is in descending order. Suppose you have fields with a combination of alphabets and numbers, and you want to sort them based on numbers. You can use alphanumeric sorting type. Let's see how to perform the alphanumeric sorting. To do that, first I remove the Sort Settings property. I have modified the existing data source by including an alphanumeric field, units. I will bind this units field to the row axis. Now I will sort this alphanumeric field based on numbers. So I set the data type property to number. For clear understanding, I will comment out the other rows. Look at the pivot table. The numbers of the units field are sorted in ascending order based on the numbers. You can sort it in descending order by clicking the sort icon. Next, I will show you how to perform value sorting. This sorting method is used to sort individual and aggregated values in rows or columns. Assume I have multiple value fields in the values axis and want to sort one. To demonstrate, I set the Enable Value Sorting property to True. Then uncomment the sold field in the values axis. Now I plan to sort values of the sold amount field in 2015 in descending order. To do this, define the Value Sort Settings property. Inside this, I set the header text property to FY 2015 ## sold amount. Header delimiter to ##, and sort order to descending. Here, the header delimiter is a separator value that separates the header texts between levels. Look now, the sold amount field in 2015 is sorted in descending order. In this video, I have shown you how to filter and sort data in the Angular Pivot Table component. If you want to try out the example used in this video, download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link to learn about obtaining a free license key to use our Angular suite through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.